Hi, and happy Monday. Nice to see you. I'm Janet Leonard. I am the founder and CEO of Virtual Instructor, and I do a 15-minute Monday live every Monday with some sort of tip or trick to make working on your computer faster, easier, and simpler. So today we're going to talk about some of the updates that are out on Zoom or that are coming out. So there's a combination that I'm going to talk about. I'm broadcasting this on StreamYard, so I'm not actually in Zoom. So I'm going to have to use PowerPoint to give you some ideas, but I think you'll be able to follow along pretty easily. So let's go ahead and move over to my PowerPoint, and we'll just do a little bit of housekeeping. If you like these Monday 15-minute lives, you can go to our website at virtualinstructor.com and just click on that button, Monday Live Events Calendar. And then that will take you over to whoops, sorry about that. I'm experimenting with some extra monitors. So there we go. All right, that'll take you over to this area that'll show you what we have coming up. So today we're going to talk about Zoom updates. Next week, I'm going to talk about some time-saving templates that are available in Excel. So if you're an Excel user, you might get a lot of good ideas. You know, we're coming to the end of the year. January is just around the corner. We want to be as efficient and productive as possible. So these are some templates that might save you some time. And then on the 27th, I'll talk about some keyboard shortcuts I think everybody should know just to make their life easier. And I'll show you the keyboard shortcuts for both Mac and PC. And then on January 3rd, I'm actually going to talk about the time-saving templates in Microsoft Word as well. So you can be more efficient when you're working in Word. All right, enough of that. Let's start talking about Zoom. So whether you're on a Mac or a PC, Zoom has what they call a desktop version. And you also have this on like the iPad and the phone too, but I'm going to focus primarily on the desktop. So when you want to make sure that you have the latest update, one of the easiest ways to do that is to open up that Zoom desktop program. So if you're in a PC, you could find that when you go to the programs, or if you're on a Mac, look in applications. And when you do that, you'll come over here and you'll see your picture. And then when you click on your picture, one of the options is to check for updates. So if you click on that, then that will take you on over to, there we go. I just added an extra monitor. So I'm getting used to my mouse. When you do the update, the latest update was just a few days ago or a few weeks ago. Actually, it was, I think, on the 7th. I could be wrong, but it added something that's kind of cool. It's the automatically keep Zoom updated. So if you choose that, then you have two options. You can choose to have the slower one, which means you're going to get the more stable versions of the releases. Or you can, if you like to know the latest and greatest, you can go with the fast, and you might be testing out some features that it might be in beta. But this is a new feature. I kind of like that to let it automatically update for me, so I don't have to keep remembering to update. All right, so here it is. The latest version is December 7th. And so if you haven't updated recently, you'll probably want to do an update. And then the one that they're scheduling as the upcoming release is on December 20th. Now, I'm going to talk about a few of the new features that were released in the December 7th one and a few of the earlier releases. And then I'll also talk about just a couple that are coming up in the December one, the December 20th one. Now, I'm not going to cover them all, but I'll just give you some highlights. Now, one of the newer features that has been added, if you are a meeting host, you can actually, when you're creating your meeting, you can create polls. That's been around for a while. But now they're adding a new feature that allows you to create advanced polls that can have images in them. And you can also create quizzes, and you can actually set the answers, which answers are correct, and that sort of thing. So there's quite a few new features that you have available. So if that's something that you've been using, you may want to look at that. Now, just a little side note, if you create the meeting in using the desktop program, or maybe it's one of the add-ons, say in Outlook or something like that, you'll have to still go back into the zoom.us program. So you'll have to go through the browser to get to it, and then you'll edit your meeting. And then down toward the bottom is where you'll see the ability to create your poll. And then you'll also have the option to do the advanced polls and quizzing. And they're two separate options, but it's pretty straightforward once you open it up. All right, now another thing that was added recently, and you may or may not have already noticed this if you have been in Zoom meetings recently, is when you go to chat, the participants actually have their little picture show up if there's a picture associated with their Zoom account, or you'll just see a little circle with their initials in it. So instead of just having like the name of the person there. So that's a new feature that's been added. And now this next thing has been around for a little while. It's only available if you're the meeting host. So when you're in Zoom, if you're a participant, you can go up into that little area in the upper right, and you can choose to focus on the speaker or see the gallery view. Well, the same thing's available for the host, but the host also has this new feature called immersive. And it's actually been around a while, but they've added some extra things. So in case you don't know about it, it is kind of fun. So here's a little example of what would happen if you're the host and you click on immersive. You get to choose which immersive view you want. And I'll talk about those in just a moment. But you'll notice that you can place the participants into the view automatically, which means Zoom does it. Or you can click on manually, and then you can choose who shows up in the immersive view. And if they're not part of the immersive view, then they just show up on top, kind of like the gallery up toward the top of your screen. I'm just going to go to the next slide, and I did a little screen capture of the different options. So you can't see it that clearly, but again, if you're a meeting host, you might want to go check this out. It's kind of fun. Let's say you had 6 people in your meeting. And if you chose that first one, notice there's a little 5 next to it. So that means that somebody is going to not be able to be put in those little pictures on the wall. So their image will show up toward the top. Now, by default, though, if somebody does not have their camera showing, they're not going to show up in the immersive view. They're up at the top. So you have to have your camera showing. But it's kind of fun if you have a large group, or even if you have a small group, you can pick some of these larger ones where you can see like 25, and they can show up more in like a stadium seating. And then down toward the bottom, I have not tested this one out, but you can create your own video, and you can have up to 25 people show up in your own video. And then they also have one for Halloween. That's the one with 8. And then the one with 4 is the one with a little ski lift. So that's for the winter holiday they have. So those are kind of fun. It's especially fun if you're in a meeting, not a serious business meeting, but if you're in a meeting and you want to kind of spice things up a little bit, maybe it's getting a little boring. So you can just throw people in the immersive view. So that's kind of a fun little trick. All right. Now, the live transcription option has been around for paid versions, but they've recently made it available if you have the free version. So the host will have to turn on the live transcription in order for it to work. But then you, as a meeting participant, can actually turn it off as well if you don't want to see it. But the host is the one who determines whether or not the live transcription shows up. And it does a pretty darn good job of transcribing what people are saying. So you may find that helpful in some of your meetings. All right, now coming up December 20th, that update, they're going to have an improved and expanded emoji support. So you might not have realized that there already was emoji support, and I'll show you how to find it just in case. But now they're going to have almost 900 more emojis. So that's pretty cool. So if you're saying, I didn't even know we had that feature, then I'll show you when you're in the Zoom meeting. If you click on that reactions button, you may have only focused on the options that they give you. But if you take a look, there is the little button with the 3 little dots. So if you click on that, that actually opens up where you can get more emojis. So that's already available. It's just that they're going to add more to it. So hopefully, if you haven't used it, give it a try. It's kind of fun. All right, now also available coming up from the December 20th update, and this is only available for the meeting host and the co-host because they're the people that can run breakout rooms. They're actually adding something so that you can create, remove, and rename breakout rooms after you've launched it. So that's kind of a cool feature because sometimes you want to make little minor changes. You've already put people in the breakout rooms. All righty. So here's just a little extra just for fun. It's been around for quite a while, but in case you didn't know about it, If you go to the little up arrow portion of your stop video button, and if you click on the choose filter, here are some filters. So I added the little Christmas lights to my Zoom. And so if we were on Zoom, you would see the little Christmas lights over on my picture. And then there's another one. Here's me with a beret. There's a whole variety. So these again are kind of fun. Probably don't want to do this in a serious business meeting, but it is kind of a fun thing to do. And one last thing is there are studio effects. So studio effects are great, especially for women. If you forgot to put lipstick on and you're thinking, I should have gotten some lipstick. Well, you can click on studio effects. And then here I picked the red lipstick. Now, I will caution you though, if you choose these studio effects and you move your head back and forth a lot, the studio effects kind of follow you almost like it was in a cartoon. So your head might move somewhere and the lips just follow, or the mustache just follows. So that's kind of fun, but just be aware of that. So, and then you can always choose none if you don't want them anymore. Okay. All right. Well, that was the update of the latest things going on with Zoom, plus a couple fun little extras for you. If you are interested in what's coming up and you don't want to miss them, you can sign up for a reminder email that we send out about an hour before the live. So you get about 10 o'clock Pacific, and it just reminds you of what the upcoming Zoom talk or the upcoming live talk will be about. And so again, just to remind you, next week, I'm going to talk about some Excel templates that you have available. Make sure you're aware of those because they can save you a lot of time. You don't have to start from scratch. And then on the 27th, I'll talk about some keyboard shortcuts that will just make your life a lot easier. Most of those keyboard shortcuts are going to work in just about every program. So I'll talk about the Mac version and the PC version. And then on January 3rd, we'll do something basically the same as the Excel templates, except we'll focus on the Word templates so that you can get some more shortcuts for yourself. All righty. So thank you so much for attending or watching this Monday Live today. I hope you got some fun shortcuts if you are a Zoom user. And have a wonderful rest of your week. And hopefully I'll see you next Monday when we talk about some of those Excel templates. Have a great day. Bye.